So I'm getting ready here to do a descale. Water flow has diminished a bit. I'm having some sort of a water flow issue. When I look at the cabin, I could see my condenser temps at 121. So this is running much hotter than it's supposed to. And you can see that I have the unit set to fan speed 1. So this is one of our variable speed systems, so that speed 1 is limiting the max speed of the system. So I have the 17 drawing right now 5.4 amps. And what I'm gonna do is hook up. So I'll show you how the setup is. I'm gonna remove that bleeding valve and put a fitting there. I'm going to grab this piece and put the in on this side, which is going to connect into my flush port over here. So I'll show once everything's set up, and then we're going to do I'm going to run the descale solution and see what the results are afterwards. All right, so connections are done. Have my water hose over here, descale solution over there. I'm connected. This is the T that goes into the outlet of my pump. I use this for flushing with fresh water, or for back flushing the system. In that little access point, I have a ball valve to prevent the water from going out through the through hole and going back through the system. Then that's my in, which I'm using as my out here because I'm going to run my barnacle buster backwards, or my descale solution backwards. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the water hose. I'm going to fill the bucket, and then I'm going to connect the pump to the outlet over here, run the fresh water through the system, number one, to see what the state of that is, and then number two, so I can check for any leaks in the system before putting the descale solution inside. So pumps on. This is no barnacle buster, this is just what's in the lines. Or no descale solution, sorry, but just what's in the lines of the system. So we're gonna go around to our connection points. We have nothing leaking over here. Nothing around this area here. Nothing over here. And you'll notice that there's no strainer here, but that's because the strainer's underneath. It's the actual intake has a wire mesh on the exterior. It's not just a speedboat intake, it's actually an intake strainer. So that's why you'll notice that I don't actually have a strainer connected to this pump right now. So now we've mixed in the descale solution. I emptied out the bucket with the nasty original brown water. And we're gonna let it do its thing. It's 11:35. So I'm gonna let this run for 20-30 minutes. Let it do its thing depending on the condition. I'll start the system, see if I'm getting see what my condenser temp is at this point. And also a little heat helps the chemicals react a little bit faster. Okay, so it's been running for around 45 minutes. That's the stuff that I'm running into over here. I'm gonna start doing my flush. I'm gonna open my valve in here. I'm gonna start mixing in a bit of fresh water in here. So keeping in mind, the only reason I can do this is because this descale solution is biodegradable. You would not do this with muriatic acid because you can't dump that in the waterways. So I'll leave this going for a little bit longer. And then once this is done, I'm going to put the connections back to where they were and run the system and see what the difference is. So I have it all back together. I did run into a situation where I had to blow through my intake because there wasn't much water coming out through there either. So I attached the hose, attached a garden hose to it, and just blew through, and that's now improved as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start this system up. I'm gonna go ahead and look overboard, see what the flow is looking like now. So you'll see that mine's frothy. So most through holes don't look like this, but I am using a Venturi on this one. So it's sucking the water from the drain pan of the unit, so that now that there's no water in there, it tends to make it frothy. But we do have significantly more water flow now. So you saw before I was over 120. Now I'm sitting at 104. So it was higher before as well, so let's see if it equalizes down even lower than this. Although we do have hotter condenser. Hotter water right now. The water temperature, I'm not sure exactly where we're at. I'm not sure exactly where we're at water temperature wise, but it's gonna be somewhere in the range. I'm seeing somewhere in the range of 90 to 93 degrees locally over here, and I don't have the GPS in place to look at the cooler water. So I'm going to see where I get to on that low speed lock. So amperage has gone down about an amp. Actually, looks like even less. I'm pulling 4.4, 4.7, and if I remember correctly, before it was around. I'll look at the video, but I believe I was high fives, almost sixes. So anytime we take anything apart, we just want to go through and make sure. So I put this fitting in. There's no leaking around. There's no leaking over here. There's no leaking around the pump. So I'm going to leave the system running for a bit. But you can see that difference that we have over there after the descale. As well as the temperature difference. So I've been running the system. I have condenser temp at 100. Evaporator 59, return 86. So once again, this is the 17 variable, the VI. I'm now going to go to automatic for standard functionality, set temperature 77. See that the amperage is going to increase. The AC loads are also going to increase because the AC loads are going through the Victron Multiplus. So there's the result of the descale. We were able to bring it down. I was at 122. I believe I was in that range on low speed. Now I have it down to 100 at low speed, so I took 20 degrees off the condenser temp. And at full speed, before I couldn't run the unit, it was shutting down. And now we're maintaining our amperage at 8.1. I have my wattage at 1027. I'm pulling 1185 from the shore power and maintaining 150 watts of DC draw.